Hi everybody, Sanmonani, welcome to my channel and on this channel Mama reality TV shows my celebrities and my YouTubers. If it is your first time joining me today and you really like the content over here, do not forget to press the subscribe button. Langizanza. So let's catch up. Okay, there's been a few stories today going on. There is the clout chasing that is going on with the Mseleku family. I do believe that it's clout chasing, you guys. And we'll talk about that. And there's also a story of the book, aka I did it on the story on this channel to say that the book was out, and I even said that I'm thinking of buying the book. The only thing is that I don't know if I'll have time to read it. And of course, the family has commented on what's going on with the book. And the writer has also come back with some stuff, so we'll talk about that. And yesterday, the story that I wanted to talk about that I didn't get the time to talk about is the fact that they say that she has immigrated to Nigeria. I like it for Wandi because Wandi will just do straightforward. This is what I do. I sell my body. Where is the best place to sell my body? Nigeria. Okay. Some people are getting trafficked to Nigeria. Wandi uyazihambela yena. You know, she's volunteering herself. While others are getting trafficked. Okay. So I think those are the stories that I wanted to cover. Oh yes, and then there's the stories of Xolani, guys. Listen, I do feel like we have to keep on talking about the stories about Xolani because now the Xolani Mapanga was also arrested, and then the Xolani Khumalo also still has an outstanding case, because I do think that there's a lot of this that has to do with leadership here in South Africa. Could say, how come these things are happening? So I don't know, you guys. Okay, let me start with one. So Wandi Ndlovu was on the show called This Body Works For Me, okay? And on that show, you guys, I felt like their bodies were not working for them really, because it's a story about women that are in adult entertainment. But I was kind of feeling like, no, if I was selling my body, I would have to live a better life than that, okay? Because I do feel like your body is the most valuable thing that you have. Okay, your soul is, but that you can sell. I'm sure even your soul you can sell. But I'm just saying in the physical form, okay? If we don't talk about the soul, because the soul is more, but I'm just saying, if I'm going to sell my body, I'm going to be the richest bee in the country. So I was like, a lot of the times I'll be watching that show and be like, and looking at those apartments that they stay in, some of them can't pay rent. And I was like, hey, kanti ukuhosha kunzima kanje bayaciciyela, but they're selling their bodies. So I don't know, you guys, maybe I was delusional, honestly, because I thought if udayisa ngomzimba nje you must have money because kuyabiza, apparently it's not. Apparently even stripping in clubs, they don't pay that much. And I was like, ooh, I just wouldn't do it. Hey, give me a job, a restaurant, ngisave abantu, whatever. Something, I'm not selling my body and struggling. I just didn't understand. I don't understand it, you guys. I'm like, I'm not gonna sell my body and then struggle. I never. So Wandi was one of the main cast members on the show, especially in season 2, because the other girls who were the main cast members in the first season were not there. And she was very open about, having like dating Nigerians only because, of course, they have money and whatever. So the story that came out yesterday was that she had sold all of her stuff and she had moved to Nigeria to work at this club that pays really, really well, okay? And I was like, I'm not shocked because one day is about money. Who would want to do what Wandi did on MacG Podcast and Chill live on television for 1,700 rands? Not even 10,700, 1,700. She did the thing. So obviously, I'm not surprised that if she found out there's a club in Nigeria that pays well, she's going to go there. Is it a thing that we should be celebrating, really? I don't know, you guys. I mean, I guess it's her choice, but, one day is an intelligent girl. I'm sure if she wanted to do something else, she could. So I guess she's choosing that. I do wonder, you guys, about the show, though, because when season 2 ended, she did express how she didn't work very well with the producers of This Body Works For Me. So maybe this is an indication that she's not going to be back in season 3 because she won't be in the country to shoot. Unless, of course, they decide to follow her to Nigeria to shoot the show. They can just do the trip, all of them, to Nigeria to do the show. And then, and then it can be a little bit more exciting. Okay, that is the story, Sikawandi. And then you guys, Mseleku. I think those who are watching my reviews on Uthando Nesem, they know, Guti. There was a point where I believed Mseleku had intentions to take number 5. And there was a point I got to where I felt like this story had always been a lie, And when finally last season he decided this is it, he's not going to take number 5, he's focusing on the wives he had because he doesn't want to disturb the peace. Also, he had run out of time that was given to him by Umacele. It made sense for him to say, listen, I'm not going to take number 5, I'm going to focus on the family that I have. But he obviously knows that that is the thing that gets people talking. So while this season they've brought up, in season 7, they've brought up the number 5 storyline, but they've brought it up almost in a joking way. So it wasn't really a storyline. And I think I was glad to not have it as a storyline because I was tired of hearing about the number 5 that never was, number 5 that never came, and the number 5 that never will come. Okay? So now, I don't know if he was feeling like people are not talking enough about Uthando Nesem, because, guys, every video on YouTube right now is about Uthando Nesem. Every video on TikTok right now is about Uthando Nesem. Every video on Facebook is about Uthando Nesem, but he just wanted people to talk about the show more, where he posted a picture of himself with this woman who is an actress. Guys, it took me such a long time to realize who this woman was, but she was on Imbeu. At some point, I was like, she looks familiar, but I just don't know where she's from, until I went to her Instagram, and then I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll put her screenshot from her Instagram here. And yes, you guys, young woman, lovely woman, but I was just looking at her Instagram, and I was like, it doesn't look like the kind of woman that Mseleku would date. Mseleku says a khuluma ngendaba of showing your body. She's always on wearing a stomach out. She's always showing her body and all of that. I'm like, I don't know. So I kind of feel like, you guys, they posted that picture for Clout, just so that we can talk about it. I don't feel like she is a number 5. And I also feel like, because they said that she's on Umkoka, I was like, maybe they are going to sort of when they bring somebody to act, but acts being themselves on the show. It's either they're going to bring Mseleku or the wives on Umkoka, maybe. And maybe they were shooting, and then they did that photo so that Sizotitega. But something is going on. I really don't believe that she is a number 5, you guys. That is me. However, you guys, I was like, if it happens in the future that she really is number 5, maybe I will believe it when I see Mseleku building a yellow house for her, because that is a stamp, Mseleku, that you really are now part of the family when they build you a yellow house. So when I see a yellow house, then yeah, definitely I'll believe that she is number 5. For now, I just feel like the Mseleku family is chasing Clout. And it's not just the Musa Mseleku that is chasing Clout, because the wives took that photo. The way that they are looking there, you can see they're acting all upset and whatever. And I'm like, these people. It's funny how people online, when we talk about the Mseleku family, would be like, stop talking about them, leave them alone. But they do things like this. You think they just took that photo and they were like, people are not going to say anything about that. They like Clout, those people. Even the wives now, I believe that they do like the fact that people are talking about them. This photo just told me that, because they live it, okay? So stop saying we must stop talking about them because they love it. That's why they're chasing Clout. Okay, guys, so let's get to the book, Yaka, aka and Anele. So the writer, who is something Ferguson, Melinda Ferguson, writes a book. Okay, the book is called what? The Tragic Tale of aka and Anele, When Love Kills, something like that. Okay, so she writes this book, and I did feel like the book was going to get people talking. However, you guys, nothing was said about her having spoken to the family or got permission from the families to write this book. And but I did not think that, AK's family maybe was going to have a problem with the book. I didn't think about it, let me say that. And it turns out that they really do have a problem with the book because they had not given, I guess, permission to write the book. I heard from somebody, you guys, who is in the legal field, that said that if you are a public figure, somebody can do things like write a book about you, do movies about you without your permission. That's why they were able to do a documentary about Thabo Best, especially if they are going to use information that is on a public domain. If they can justify that, one, you are a public figure, and two, the information that they are using is on a public domain, then they can, they're free to do it if you're a public figure. They don't have to ask for your permission to do it. So you can take them to court, but you might not win. Chances are you won't win. And they can still ask you for permission just out of respect to say, I'm going to write a book about you and whatever, and they can get your blessings. But even if you don't give permission, if you are a public figure, they can still write a book about you. So maybe this is why this woman has come and has ended up writing this book, even though the family is saying that they didn't approve. That is the Forbes family, you guys. It's not the Tembe family, because the book is about Anele and AKA. So Zmocha has written, AKA's family not impressed by the book. It says the family of slain rapper Kuningi, AKA Forbes, is not impressed with the award-winning author and journalist Melinda Ferguson's book on the rapper's love life. Melinda announced last week that her latest book, titled When Love Kills, about the love affair between rapper Kuningi, aka Forbes, and Anele Nelly Tembe, will hit the shelves this week. It says Melinda said that she had been given the go-ahead by both the Forbes and the Tembe family to go ahead with the book. But the Forbes family said, or has come out, and then to say that they have not given her blessings to publish the book. We are not in any way associated with Melinda Ferguson's book and do not endorse it. In the same breath, we distance ourselves from the contents of the book, the statement said. When Melinda reached out to us, we respectfully and rightfully declined to contribute to her book. At this stage, we cannot give any further comments on the book as we are aware of its contents. We are unaware of its contents. We do, however, find intended publication of the book and the timing distasteful and opportunistic, and the family said in a statement. With over 5 books she has published, including the Kelly Khumalo story in 2013 and Oscar, An Accident Waiting to Happen in 2014, Melinda said that she had never been more freaked out by the body of work. I've never been more freaked out by a story. I've never kept a secret like I've kept this one, but the news has just been leaked on social media, she said. So here it is from the fire horse's mouth. My new book will be released, will be on shelves next week. It's been a real journey to get this out. It really killed my own relationship. It nearly killed my own relationship. It's a story that broke my heart, she said. She admitted that sleeping has been tough. While I knew that the book would probably cause a stir, I did not expect crazy response that it has received since someone broke the news on social media yesterday. While I have been touched by the love and support I received, I have also felt deeply affected and misunderstood by the spitting vitriol. I know we live in a world of social media where unkindness and colorness drive the conversation, but it's a lot. I wrote this book in an attempt to try and understand a story about two people who fell down a rabbit hole of toxic love. Something kept driving me to keep on searching some kind of truth about what happened and where and why they are both dead now. Melinda has her own experience which made her relate to the subject. I have been through the kind of hell in my life as an addict and as someone who has embarked on dangerous and obsessive relationships. Their story spoke to me. It literally broke my heart. She added, when researching and writing, she said that she found it especially tragic that Anele, who had just turned 22 when she died, had no actual voice in the book besides a few uttering on social media where there are no records of any of her statements or interviews in the public realm. She had yet to make her mark, so I had to rely on what other people have said about significant character in the story, Melinda added. In the last moments of Anela's life, as she lay on the tar after she had plummeted from the 10th story of the Cape Town hotel, she silently mouthed the words, "Please help me, oh God." As I got deeper and deeper into my writing, I felt her call grow louder and louder. Listen, you guys. Obviously, the family doesn't like the idea that this woman has written a book. And I'm not sure if they don't like it only because they never really gave permission for her to write the book, or they don't like what is on the book, because it might be possible that they have seen what is on the book and they don't like what she's written on the book. But one thing I can tell you is that I myself, by them not wanting to associate with the book or wanting to give any approval or support to the book, that in itself makes me want to read the book for some reason. I don't know if I'm a bad person, but it makes me want to read the book. I'm like, what is in this book? What can be in this book that we don't already know? What could this woman have found out that we don't already know? So maybe I want to read this book. So I don't know if it's going to be like that for other people, because I saw that online there is a thing of people saying we mustn't read the book, we mustn't buy it, we mustn't. And in my mind, I'm like, I really want to read this book, because I'm like, I want to know what's on it. Because it doesn't mean that everything she will write there is true. But then what are we scared of if we just read what this? She's a journalist. We've read articles about Anele and AKA's story, and we'll read it and I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's really what happened. So what's going to be different this time with this book? Okay, so I think for me, I'm just curious. I want to get the book. So I went online and I was like, how do you get this book? And there are some websites that has the book for 320 rands actually. And I was like, I might just get this book because I just want to know what's in there. The truth of the matter when it comes to Anela and AKA, you guys, is that the things that nobody will ever know the truth about what happened that day, because both the people that were there are already gone, and the person that was left behind to tell us what happened, he did tell us his version of the story. And some of us believed it, some of us didn't. Some of us believed some of it, and then some of it we were like, not believable. So that was the best that we could get. The best that we could get was from AKA, because he was one of the two people that were involved in this story. Now, with the journalists, I'm just wondering what does she have? But yeah, I don't want to lie. It did make me want to get the story, you guys. So listen, there is another story here about the Xolanis, because of course Xolani Khumalo was fired. He was fired from Mojalav. Then they got the other Xolani Maphanga to replace him on Mojalav. Ngizokuthola. Now, while Xolani Khumalo is attending the murder case, because there's a guy that they say passed away because something happened to him that while they were shooting the show, excuse me, the Xolani Maphanga now has been charged. So I'm like, are these presenters really doing something wrong? Because remember, even with the other Xolani, they said that there was another case against him over and above the M case. And now this Xolani Maphanga is saying that he has been charged with attempted M and was granted bail. Him and the bodyguard. Okay, this is from the Citizen. So it says the Soshanguve Magistrate Court has granted 5,000 rand bail to the new host of Moja Love's anti-drug show, Sizokuthola. Xolani Maphanga was 39 and his bodyguard Bongani Mkhabela, 33, who's also a director and owner of Law Private Investigative Company, has been charged with 3 counts of attempted murder and trespass. Times Live reported Maphanga and his crew allegedly asked 3 people in Soshanguve while the show was being recorded in March. The case of AS with the intent to cause G bodily harm was opened at Soshanguve police station after the alleged AS. National Prosecuting Authority Lumka Mahanjana said on the 14th of March, the duo with other Moja Love crew members who have not been identified allegedly went to the complainant's house in Soshanguve looking for substances they claimed she was selling. When they could not find the substances, it is alleged that the two started to AS the woman who is a complainant in the matter with a jambok. Guys, I don't know how to say jambok. Jambok. Gemvubu. Sorry guys, this is not funny, but I can't pronounce it. The jambok. Hi guys, info. They then choked her and suffocated her brother. 3 days after the incident, the woman reported the matter. By the way, because I know other people, I'm not laughing at the story. I'm laughing at the fact that I can't say jambok. How to say jambok? Jambok. Maphanga and Kabela handed themselves over to the police on April the 9th after the warrant of arrest was issued for them, Mahanjana said. In their bail bid, the two denied committing the offenses. The state did not oppose bail but asked the court order that they could not communicate directly or indirectly with the witnesses and should report to the closest police station once a week. The matter has been postponed to the 21st of May. Maphanga was announced as the new host for the popular show in Feb after former President Xolani Khumalo is axing in November last year because of a familiar issue. The channel said that at the time it decided to part ways with Khumalo after concerns were raised about his knowledge and involvement in the unlawful incident that led to the possible contamination of a crime scene, failed prosecution of a non-deal lord, and unfortunate tragedies that followed the filming of the episode. Khumalo is on a trial for M of Robert Very, who passed away during the recording of the show. So now you guys, listen, this is a thing because people will be saying it's these leaders, possibly it's some politicians or leaders that are possibly involved in these crimes and they don't want these guys to be doing this show because it's disturbing their business or whatever. But I also feel like, but if they don't do anything wrong while they're shooting the show, would they really have anything on them? And now I'm starting to feel like, is it worth it, guys? Is it worth it? Because Xolani Khumalo was a really good presenter. He really handled that show really well, you guys. If there was anything that he did wrong, then I guess he needs, the court system needs to deal with that. Then we had Xolani Maphanga, who's also doing very well on. Without Sizokuthola, Xolani was doing well with the ex-Repo show. So maybe is it not time to just abandon the Sizokuthola idea? Because if it is really those powerful people that are behind them getting arrested or them getting charged, if it's those powerful people that are behind it, then it doesn't matter who the presenter is. If they get a new presenter, the same thing will happen. They get a new presenter, the same thing will happen. Maybe it's time that they abandon the show. It's unfortunate because that's what the criminals want, but is it worth it? Because it means that, everybody's going to end up being charged with, murder, and that's a serious thing. So I don't know, guys. That is the story. I'm just giving it to you. Some stories you have to say you don't know, because if you say you know, some people will come here and say they know more. Anyway, you guys, listen, I just thought while I'm still chilling here, let's about today, guys, because the worst thing that can happen to a blogger is for gossip to happen during the day while the blogger is at her 9 to 5. Uvele kuphume isitory esijuice nje ubuka abantu beposta uthi angisahali nje ngihalela ukuhleba lapho ngiyasebenza ngibhizi. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before uphume kuyona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginethanda kakhulu.